Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Outreachy Live Chat. And today we are going to be talking about mentorship in Outreachy. We have some folks with us who have, in one way or the other, contributed to Outreachy as a community coordinator, as a mentor. But today's chat is going to be focused on um, Outreachy mentors. So they are going to be sharing their experience, they are going to be giving insights and also answering your questions. So if you have any question at all about how you can give back to the open source, open science community via mentoring Outreachy intern, please, this is the right place. You can drop your questions in the chat and we are going to be attending to your questions. So before we move on, I'm going to bring up our guests, have them introduce themselves, and we'll start from there. Now let's get started. We have Juliana. Hi, Juliana. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We also have Tida with us. Hi, Tida. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. We have Patra here. Hi, Patra. How are you doing? You look so good today. Okay, and we have Deepak. I'm really I apologize if I didn't pronounce that well. You can always help me with the pronunciation. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And you pronounced my name right. So very happy to be
Oh,
joining this session today. Thank you.
good, good. Okay, so we have one more person or two persons join us. They will join during the course of the chat. Don't forget that if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat. We have the Outreachy organizers and other past mentors that are going to be answering your questions. So if you're just joining us for the first time or you are returning, you've been listening to any of our chats, this is the Outreachy Internship YouTube channel. We have a lot of discussion regarding open source program, which is Outreachy. And Outreachy is a paid remote internship opportunity for folks who are underrepresented or marginalized in the country, in the technology space in the country they are living in. So our internship is remote and is paid. Interns get 7,000 USD. But today we are going to be focused on one of the pillars of Outreachy, which are the this is actually the mentors. The mentors are one of the pillars of Outreachy. There is no Outreachy success without these amazing folks. Application for mentoring communities, mentoring projects are actually ongoing. You can we'll drop the link during the course of this chat. And for anyone who feel like they want to give back to the open source community via mentoring the Outreachy interns, as I mentioned before, please stay tuned and just down the insights that our guests are going to be sharing. And that's it. I think we should start with proper introduction. And I'm going to start with Deepak. Hi, Deepak. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Deepak Verma. I'm from India, and I've been part of the last winter 2022 cohort of Outreachy. I was an intern for the Linux community open source project, and it ran from December to March as it is scheduled always. And after completing my internship, I wanted to remain involved with the Outreachy program just because of the kind of benefits I could get being an intern, and I could realize how important it is to being a mentor for somebody who's new to Outreachy and new to different open source programs. So I really enjoyed my internship, and that is where I thought I should share the joy of learning together, the joy of working together with the new interns as well. So that is when I decided to become a mentor on the Outreachy project. So in the summer cohort, uh, I became a co-mentor for one of the Linux open source projects, and there are two more mentors, but I am kind of supporting them so that I primarily understand more about mentorship, and eventually I look forward to becoming a more seasoned mentor so that I can oversee a project and the interns independently. So it has been a fantastic experience, both as an intern and a mentor so far. Thank you.
Thank, thank you so much for sharing that. And maybe I forgot to mention one very good thing about most of our guests, if not all, is that they've all participated in the Outreachy internship, enjoyed the benefits, and they are willing to give back to what they have actually gotten from the program. So I'll add on to Juliana. Hi, Juliana.
Hi. So I'm Juliana Fagiardini. I was an intern with Outreachy and the OISF community in the start of 2020, 2021. Back then I was in Portugal, but I'm actually Brazilian, living in Brazil again. And after finishing my internship, I was lucky enough to be invited to be a part of the OISF team. So I kept contributing to the community, and now as a paid member of the team. Then I moved on to also be a commenter because OISF usually takes part in Outreachy every year for the December March rounds. So I've been a commenter, and then I moved on to be also the community coordinator for OISF for Outreachy. So nowadays I keep being a commenter, and I've met wonderful folks through that. And I'm also coordinating, and the team has chosen that I did that because of how passionate I am about Outreachy, because it has definitely changed my life in many ways, and I'm always eager to speak about it and give back in all the ways I can. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for that. Now you can all see that they are not just past Outreachy intern. They're also giving back to open source community. Paid, they are being paid for doing that, and this is something that started as a passion, not just as just giving back to the community. Okay, so let's move to Pata. Hi, how are you doing?
Hello,
I
hello,
can see
hi
the Outreachy
everyone.
shirt.
Yes, yes. Thank the RET team for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Again Petra. I'm based in Bamenda, Cameroon, and I joined RET the first time it was around 2021. Then I just observed. I didn't really make a lot of contributions. But later on, the next cohort, and after that, I started contributing because I saw this organization that I was really passionate about, the Mboa community. I mean, they use biology and technology to come up with these open science projects that are really helpful in the community, geared towards community development. So when I finished my internship round, I spoke to my mentor because I was really passionate about the community. Before that, I started talking to my community members about the organization and telling them about the projects going on there. So I told my mentor, how can I continue working here? And he said, oh, there's opportunity to co-mentor. You can help other interns with the organization, get them on board. Um, Basically, it. So I applied, and currently I'm still mentoring there. It's a wonderful experience. I love it. The organization is amazing. The interns are amazing. I love how they're really pushful and everything. So yeah, it's been great at the Mboa community. It was founded in 2017 by Thomas Mboa, and they are doing a very wonderful job. It's located here in Cameroon. It's an organization in my country. So yeah, I'll definitely visit it sometime. That's all about me.
That's good to hear. So we can all see that Asushi is not just about open source. We also have open science community and projects. And also, most importantly, I need to add that Asushi is a global um, organization or program. We can see Juliana from Brazil, if I'm right. Um, Deepak from India, Agar from Patra from Cameroon, Omotela from Nigeria, and obviously, let's move over to Silda. If you've checked or you've listened or you've joined our past live chats, you should be familiar with Tilda. The last chat that we had, I think that was last week, we had Tilda join us and also share some of our experience as well. And she's doing us another honor to join us today to even share more insights. Hi, Tilda. How are you doing?
Hi, Matala. Thanks for having me. So yeah, a short introduction. My name is Tilda Odufo. I was an Outreachy intern for the May to August 2021 cohort, the summer cohorts, and I worked with Public Lab as an Outreachy intern. And then after my internship, I was invited to be a mentor and a code community coordinator for the community. And it was very exciting to me because I felt like probably said this before, I did not feel like I had the skills to become a mentor, but my mentors and the community saw those strengths in me and invited me to become a mentor. And I was very excited to give back those skills that I had learned from my internship and, to help other interns or applicants that wanted to become Outreachy interns. And the whole mentorship experience was a learning experience for me because it was my first time doing it. And I was also learning as well as the mentee was also learning. And it also made me aware of some of the strengths I would not have been aware of had I not been a mentor. So that was really good for me. And it also felt very good to also help someone else go through that outreach journey and help them on their way, just the same way my mentors had helped me on that journey. So yeah, it was a very fulfilling and rewarding experience for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for starting or giving insight from that perspective. That actually show the power of community. Community brings out what you don't even know you have in you, and even add earlier today some interns were talking about how their soft skills have actually grown. Bring out that part of you that you were not even sure you have. I think I'm going to like start from that and ask the other guests what their experience was like during the internship. And I'll start with you, Juliana. During the mentorship program or your experience mentoring the outreach interns.
Okay, so as a mentor, right? At first, like Tilda mentioned, I didn't believe I had it in me to be the mentor. I was like, I was just an intern. I barely know all that's going on. How can I be a mentor now? Uh, but thankfully, my mentors, who are still co-mentors, they were very supportive, and they help us realize that it's a journey and we don't have to have all the answers. What is important is that we are there to listen to whatever questions the interns have, and with them build the answers or find the answers if we don't have them. So it is still very challenging. I am all the time learning a lot. I take the opportunity of being a mentor to learn more aspects of Suricata because it's a huge project and we are always trying to offer some new project for the interns. So it's always something I've never worked before. So it's always a challenge in that sense, but it's also wonderful being able to get in touch with people from countries I would probably not get in touch with. So when I was an intern, my co-intern was from Sri Lanka. Then I mentored folks from Egypt and Nigeria, then Pakistan. Then it's always, and that's awesome because to me meeting people is like traveling. So I'm traveling to all these places through meeting awesome people like that. And also you get to know even those who do not become an intern. You are meeting them as well. So I met folks in Brazil who are interested in Suricata, and I'm trying to build this network of people in my country that are more aware of Outreachy, and sometimes it's just more applicants who want to know more about the Outreachy. So as a whole, it's a very um, positive experience to me, being a mentor, even though it has lots of challenges.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So the community aspect that we mentioned, just like Juliana also mentioned, and Tilda as well, actually not will help you not just to know yourself more, to even know it will help you to know people around you, and people you don't, people from other culture, location, get to know more about them, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's move to Deepak. Hi. I can see one of our guests at the backstage. I redeem. Let's know where we can add you. So we'll move over to Deepak now. Deepak.
Yep, I'm here.
Um,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Okay.
share with us your experience?
Yep. I mean, this was my first cohort being a co-mentor on the Outreachy program. And initially, like Juliana said, I too was a little scared. I just finished my internship and mentoring somebody. My own expectations were pretty high when it comes to mentorship. But then this particular project where we had two other mentors and I then became a co-mentor. Uh, the idea was to learn more about mentorship and also to remain engaged or involved with the community. So my mentors who are seasoned and very experienced developers, they really help me understand how to handle the interns, how to help them, how to show them direction rather than doing things for them, etc. So they really supported me well. They also kind of helped me understand what are the typical challenges that an intern would face and how to help them. So for me, it has been very a lot of learning from this co-mentoring opportunity, and I really enjoyed working with the intern. For me, I think direction and velocity are equally important. Outreachy offers you direction, and mentorship is important for keeping that momentum going. And that is where I thought that it really helped me as well, not just the intern. I think the intern certainly would benefit from the direction. But yeah, for me, I think I myself learned a lot for being part of the program, and that is where I have again applied. Hopefully, it will get accepted. But I've applied to be either a co-mentor or a mentor again in the upcoming cohort. So really excited. I felt a lot of joy when I was able to share my learning and my experience with an intern. It was really a good experience, and I really want to do it again. Thank you.
Yes, I love the last part. You want to do it again based on everything you've learned and discover about yourself, and you still want to learn more. Okay, so Parker, I'm going to start with another question. I really want to know if you do have like any mentoring experience at all before you joined Outreachy as a co-mentor.
Okay. Officially, no. Officially, but I think I've had a lot of experience so far with my community. Basically, I'm a Google Developers Group organizer and Women Tech Makers organizer, also a Women Tech Makers ambassador, and we have this fear, this community within us that we get to bring people into tech, guide them according to maybe a certain career, maybe academically or psychologically. Sometimes we even give out talks on mental health, encourage people how to become better versions of themselves, help them to fight imposter syndrome and all of those things. So officially, like I said, I really don't have, but with all the experience I gathered from my community members, and given that I'm also a teacher, my students to come up to me, career orientation. Sometimes you get to even help them emotionally. They have some things they fight around with, and they come up to you. They look up to you to this person, and they're like, okay, fine, I'm going through this. Can you help me with that, navigate that? So all of that experience just it just give me all these skills that I used even during my mentoring experience here at Timboala. And my interns as well, they've really been helpful, I must say, because the effective communication aspect of mentorship is something I really do struggle with, because sometimes I expect that if probably maybe they've come across something, they should just come ahead and tell me. But then they're like, okay, we don't really know when to reach out to you. Can you maybe specify some office hours, or can you tell us when you're available and all of that? So I really don't have any mentoring experience. I didn't have, but officially, but unofficially, I can say yes. And this program has really brought out that part of me. A lot of it I've learned during this program. When I was an intern, my mentors were awesome. I saw how they operated. I saw the office calls, the stand up, the meet, and I got a lot of experience from them. And I think I really do use that too as well, and also personal research and studies. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Juliana, I'm itching to ask you the same. Have you any experience mentoring anybody, maybe formally or informally, before you joined Outreachy as a co-mentor, mentor, and community coordinator?
uh, it's I'm a bit like Petra, not anything very official, but I had been I have volunteered in the past to help with projects for introducing young women from impoverished communities in Salvador, in Brazil, where I am from, to introduce them to technology. So I've tried to help with that more from a perspective of innovation, because I've worked with startups before. I've also been a mentor in a hackathon for startups. So things like that. And I think it's connected to mentoring when you try to help others in anything, you know. So if they are going through any hardship, and you try to listen to them and see how you could support them in overcoming whatever is happening, I see that as I've learned after being an official mentor with Outreachy that this is some sort of mentorship as well, right? To listen to someone and to try to just be there for them, and walk together towards a better state. So I try to do that a lot. I think that because both of my parents are psychologists, I have this background of listening and paying attention, and I think that that helps. And while I was still an intern with Outreachy, I took part in a project that happens in Brazil that is somewhat similar to Outreachy, but it was mainly focused on women and open source projects in Brazil. It's not paid like Outreachy, but the idea was similar, to introduce them to open source community, to open source projects, and how this works. And I was a mentor there as well, although I felt very scared and incapable of doing so back then. But I try to volunteer to be involved, because I think it's very important.
Thank you so much, Juliana. Juliana and Pata have shared how they unofficially and officially have experienced mentoring people in their local communities and in places they find themselves. I noted that, as mentioned in our past chat, that she has no experience mentoring people, and she was really scared at some point. So that I'm going to come back to you on that, and you share more details and even answer some other questions regarding that. I want to know if in any way Deepak has had if they've had experience mentoring anyone officially or unofficially before they joined Outreachy as a co-mentor.
Yes, I mean, I was employed in earlier before joining Outreachy. I was working full time in one of the companies, and I had responsibility of a small team of individuals. But there, it was a professional um, expectation, and more than mentoring, it was more about managing resources. So it did not have that touch of mentorship where you try to guide somebody to develop some skills, etc. It was more about how a person is doing and how much raise they should get. So I think mentorship has a different dimension than managing resources, and that is what was my first time experience being part of the Outreachy program. So yes, I mean, I've managed resources, but yeah, mentorship is way more different than just managing resources. It is more about guiding somebody through difficult problem situations, how you help somebody solve problems on their own and make decisions independently, because it is all community. You help and you get help. So getting that culture or getting that mindset into somebody who's absolutely new to open source is very different from managing resources. So yes, even though I have managed team members in the past, this experience was very new for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. We have someone joined us during the course of the chat. Hi, Redeem. How are you doing? Where are you joining us from? Can you please introduce yourself? Um,
Okay, hi everybody.
hi.
Yeah, I'm Rajan Green. I'm joining you guys from Cameroon. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm currently on. Yeah,
I can't hear you very well. I don't know if our audience can hear you. Maybe the other
okay,
guest wants to confirm that.
It's a bit low to me.
okay. My check. Can you get me now?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm Rajan Green. I'm from Cameroon. So joining you guys from Cameroon. I'm Irish mentor at OGK.
All right. Thank you so much. So back to you, Tida. Tida, do you want to share? I can see questions in the chat, and I can see that you're also helping us to answer that. But I want you to answer this question. You joining as a fresh mentor, I mean, with no experience mentoring people before, and now you joined Asuchi as a mentor. What skills or what technical skills do you think you have as at then that made you eligible to be a mentor and to make you being successful as a mentor during the time you were giving back to the community?
Well, I wouldn't say it was more of a technical skill thing, more like a communication skill, soft skill. Those were the more important skills that I needed to possess to be able to mentor. Because again, mentorship is about the mentee. The mentee is the one doing the technical work. So you are there to guide them. You need to know how to communicate with them, help them resolve issues in their own way, in a way that they are comfortable with. Devising ways to communicate with them that they are comfortable with and prefer. So all of those things are more of soft skills than technical skills. And I believe those were the skills that my mentors saw in me being able to answer questions and ask good questions. Those are things they look out for. Are you able to ask good questions? Are you able to answer good questions? Those are soft skills that you need, communication skills. When you are stuck, do you reach out to your mentors to ask for help? How long does it take you to ask for help? And all of those things put together were the things that I believe my mentors looked out for and believe that I would be able to mentor someone else or mentor an Outreachy applicant. I Does that answer your question, Omotala?
Yes, I know it's heavily on communication, and I think the fact also mentioned that when they were answering the past question, it's more of soft skills. You should be able to listen, guide, communicate effectively, and these soft skills are also going to help you to like see. I remember Twitter mentioned sometimes ago the ability to be able to set out some tasks that new contributors can work on. And I think these soft skills, aside understanding the projects, these soft skills have a great way to impact how you mentor. I want to push this back to Juliana. Juliana, will you answer this question that we have on the screen from your own perspective?
Uh, yeah. On top of what Tilda said, which is very true, and it is, I would say it is also where my strength is. It's when I volunteered. Like also, I openly said I think I can help with the soft skills. I don't know if I'll be good with the technical aspect of things, uh, but I think that being able to offer good feedback is also important, right? Because we are helping them uh, fulfill their tasks, and sometimes they may not be in the right path, so we have to help them steer the ship back towards the right direction. And that's where good feedback will be very important. It's not always easy to be able to give constructive and positive feedback. um, I think that the onboarding part is extremely important, especially for the outreach internships, because they are very short. When we are interns, we realize how short 3 months are. It goes like
Yes.
this. And the the first few weeks, we will probably feel very overwhelmed, especially as interns. And so being there in this first moment to help them not feel so overwhelmed, and to make them feel welcome to ask the questions that they have to ask in a timely manner, so we can help them figure out how to proceed. This is also of a lot of importance, in my opinion. The onboarding part, the initial tasks that will guide them into finding their own ways of solving things, helping them understand how to break a big project into smaller tasks, and to set up goals so they can feel that they are progressing, because if you feel that you have stalled, you start to lose momentum, to use the word that
Mm.
Deepak used, that is very, very good one as well. And so all of those things you have to, and the soft skills again, you have to be very attentive to how they are, and sometimes they will not be communicating a lot. So I think this is where I get very stressed. It's in engaging how things really are with the interns, and that I'm offering what they need at the moment.
Yes, thank you so much for adding those very important points. I know Redeem as well would like to add from your own experience. How will you answer this question asked by Joseph?
All right. Joseph, he did a great point. So what the main aspect of you becoming an RH mentor, like technical experience you need a very, very good communication skills, because you'll be dealing with interns, and these are people who need constant communication. Like people who have never like experienced, maybe like completely new to open source. Yeah. So the first thing you need is you need a very, very good communication skills. And then another aspect is you also need to know how to deal with the Git system, GitHub, and other like. So that's very important when become an RH mentor. First, before you become an RH mentor, it's not like everybody. I mean, like you don't just go into it. I mean, there are steps where you need to like qualify for it. Yeah, because if you check from the initial application, I mean from the contribution phase, what the mentors look at is they look at how you're able to adapt to the community, how you're able to help other people. If like you are completely blank, like how are you going to help your teammates? How like teamwork. So for me, the first experience you need, the first that they communicate correctly. Yeah, communication is very important, and teamwork, how to deal with a large amount of people, because like people will send requests. So how are you going to cope? How are you going to cope with all that load work? Also, one number two, you need to know how to
Um,
manage your time. Yeah, to become a rich, you need to know how to manage your time, time management, and that one too. So
Thank you so much for adding those points. And specifically, I picked time management. As a mentor,
yeah,
you are
so that's the
required
point.
to
That's it.
as a mentor, you are required to dedicate some um, quality time to mentoring the interns. I'm going to be sharing the link to the call for community for this coming cohort, the December cohort. The application is up right now. I'll be sharing it in the comments. But before we move from this question, I know Patal um, okay. I know Patha also have some things to add to this question, especially from the technical perspective, and Deepak as well. So I'm going to start from Patha. Hi, Patha. You're muted.
Sorry about that. Hi, Motola. Hi, everyone. In my experience as a mentor, yeah, the soft skills are essential, communication, time management, and all of that. But technical skills are also very much, very, very much necessary. And if you're going to mentor a particular project and probably maybe you're required to know Flutter, I think in my experience, you can go ahead and study it, not literally, but at least have particular knowledge in that aspect because you're going to be mentoring interns that are working on that technical aspect. If probably maybe they are Python developers, you could maybe learn a few things in that language so as to have some knowledge and some understanding so that if interns are able to update you, we've been able to work on the splash screen, we've been able to work on the user authentication, at least you should be able to understand that, okay, this is what's going on. If they're using GitHub, for example, you should be able to see the project and see the collaboration that's going on. And it's not like you're expected to know everything technically in that aspect, but at least you're supposed to know the basics. And in case probably maybe a mentee comes up to you and it's like, okay, we are working on this machine learning aspect and we are stuck here. And okay, probably you've researched and you cannot handle that. It's now your turn to reach out to other people in the community, to other open source people, to other people that you are aware have those technical skills or that experience that can come in and probably maybe help the mentee. So I think one of the highest work as a mentor is to be able to also constantly learn. You're going to also be learning, so you should be able to work in line with the interns. In my opinion and my experience, I think that's what I have to add regarding the technical aspect of the mentorship program.
Thank you so much, Patha, for adding to that. Deepak, I know you want to add some points to the question that we have.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very specific to the Linux community. The it certainly helps to have the some level of technical expertise, specifically when
Mhm.
it comes to a mentor starting with their project tasks. How to set up an environment, how to test, how to create a release environment, how to create a build environment, where do I test, if I need documentation, where it is available. So all of these basic technical questions certainly help an intern to kickstart their project activities. But yes, I mean, being part of the community, the beautiful thing is if you are stuck, there are experts in the community who won't spend any time and answer right questions. As a mentor, I think it is important to really help interns understand what kind of questions to ask, and help them understand where these questions might already be answered, so that you don't waste anybody's time. So helping the mentors find where they can self help, and when it is right time to ask the question, is I think is what is more important from a mentorship perspective. But yes, initial a couple of weeks, maybe having some technical background about the project itself, where the documentation is, how to organize sources, how to set up the build environment. I think these things certainly help an intern to stand and start walking. But yeah,
Thank you
you do
so
not need to be a technical expert, because there is whole community who certainly helps if there are questions or somebody is stuck. So yeah.
Thank you so much for adding that. You've heard from our guests and mentors that you don't need to be 100% strong technically to be able to mentor someone. Your mentorship, your strength can lie in you understanding the project, you being able to split the project into bits so that a first-time contributor will understand, or even someone who is used to contributing to open source will better understand that task. You being able to communicate effectively, you being able to give constructive feedbacks, you being able to assign tasks, you being able to support in one way or the other. The support is the main mentorship I think keyword. You've been able to support in any way. So we've been talking about the good things. I've shared before I go on, I've shared a link to the mentoring community application. You can read through, and also in this blog post that I shared the link, you are going to see where you can click on to check out the list of participating communities. So if you are interested in mentoring Outreachy intern and you are probably not a past Outreachy intern, but you are interested, you can check the list of participating mentoring community. Most of them have links on how you can join the community, reach out to the community coordinators, their contacts, and work with them to propose projects and mentor the Outreachy intern. Let's talk about the challenges. I know some of us are first-time mentors, some of us have experience in one way or the other, but that doesn't mean we did not face any challenge in one way or the other, and that doesn't mean we all face challenges. But if there's any way you face challenges, you can please feel free to share what the challenges are and how you were able to overcome these challenges. I'm going to start with Juliana. Juliana, please, you have the mic.
One thing that I think it was Reading who mentioned it actually, is time management skills. This is something that gets me because especially when learning, when it's something new to you, you may have the overall idea of how the project works, the community's projects, right? But then you are working with something new with the intern. And if it's something you were not familiar with and you want to guide them, that is where I have, I think that's my weakness, knowing how much to be there with them and how much to let them explore by themselves. I have a hard time stepping back and telling them, all right, we've come this far, now let's see what you can do, and we talk again next week. And how, so a big challenge for me is time management. Petra has mentioned having office hours. This is a boundary important to set, which I don't always set well, but I've been trying to improve. Last round, we only had one intern because of that, because we wanted to ensure that the mental health of us as mentors was being addressed properly. And sometimes mentoring together with all the other tasks that you have, if you work full-time with a community, is a lot. So yeah, all things connected to time management and setting up boundaries to mentor without making that your full-time job because you have other tasks to do. I think that's a big challenge for me.
Time management. I understand, especially when you mentioned the fact that you are not sure at what length to support the intern to be able to do things on themselves. When you are asking yourself, are you supporting enough? Am I not doing enough? what should I do? What is the next thing? And I think this comes for persons who are probably contributing mentoring for the first time. You being too hard on yourself, which is normal, and I'm really glad you were able to like talk about that. We have a question about, can a person apply as mentor and an intern at the same time? No. How can you be able to like set tasks and you are still the one that are going to work on it? So you can't. You can only apply as an intern, and maybe after your internship apply as a mentor, because now you have a better understanding of the project and you want to help other people to work on the project, just like Tida and other guests that we have here. Okay, back to our question about challenges. Let's move on to Deepak. Deepak, do you want to share some challenges that you probably faced, if there is any?
Oh yeah, time management I think takes the top slot. Um, but yeah, another thing that I found during my internship is 3 months actually fly like 3 weeks. So it goes by very fast. And other than your regular work, the interns are also required, and you as a mentor are also required to keep on sharing the feedbacks, defining the project, tracking their progress, ensuring that they feel positive, they get the support that they deserve. So all of this happens so fast. And if you also have other engagement, like if you are employed, those priorities also need to be dealt with. So certainly time management is very important. And at the same time, ensuring that various stages of this program are very timely, and they are also addressed as per the schedule is very important too. I mean, Outreachy really does a great job in sending out reminders, sending emails. The Zulip sessions really help. So I think there is a lot of support from Outreach team themselves. But yes, I mean, as a mentor and intern, adhering to those timelines and those expectations is really important. And sometimes it appears that the feedbacks are coming every week. So because the things fly so fast that you feel like you gave a feedback last week, and this week you again have to give another feedback, just because it moves so fast. So I think keeping pace with the program sometimes can become challenging. And you want to make sure that you are putting in the right inputs, the right feedback is going in. So yeah, I think I feel a little challenged, specifically with respect to the time. Another important aspect, and I don't have a lot of experience, but what Juliana mentioned earlier, you might end up working with people from different time zones. So it may not always be easy to find a common slot where both the mentor and the mentee are comfortable interacting with. So specifically, having video calls or having some online sessions really help move things faster, build that level of relationship. But yeah, I mean, if you are in very odd time zones, that can at times become a challenge, even in terms of getting email responses can slow things down. So that could be another, but again, it's not a hard challenge to solve. Everybody is global now, but yes, that sometimes you need to make sure you establish some protocol with the mentee initially, some agreed time where you can engage more efficiently and solve their problems or help them with your inputs in a timely fashion. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Deepak. For our audience that are just joining us or that are going to be watching this video later, this is the Outreachy internship program live chat, and today we are having a chat about mentorship in open source, especially using Outreachy as a case study. And today we have guests with us. Unfortunately for us, most of our guests are past interns, persons that have passed through our internship program and are willing to give back to the Outreachy community because they have learned in one way or the other. They have grown, they've discovered things they don't even know about themselves in terms of their career, both technically and soft skills wise, and they've been sharing insights so far about their experience before, during, and even after their participation as a mentor. Please feel free to watch the video back from the beginning, and if you have any question about mentors and mentoring community, you can check our website for more information. And we also have the application for the December cohort mentoring community ongoing right now. It's going to end in few weeks. Please check it out and apply. We are looking forward to you joining any open source or open science community that are going to be participating in December course. We are looking forward to your application. We want you to come and mentor our interns. And if you have any question, maybe you don't understand at any point, you have any question you want to ask, please feel free to join the participating community, ask or contact the community coordinators, ask questions, and you can as well reach out to the Outreachy organizers by sending us a mail at organizers@outreachy.org, or as well send us a DM via any social media platform that we have on. And let me move back to Redeem this time around. Redeem, from your experience, you want to share any challenges you faced as a mentor at ODKS, and how you were able to actually grow past the challenge. You're muted.
Okay, yeah, there are a couple of challenges I faced while being
Unfortunately, we can't hear you
a
clearly. We can't hear you clearly, Redeem.
yeah,
You can please drop your insights in the comments so that our audience can benefit from it. We can't hear you very well, Redeem. Maybe Pata will use that chance to share.
All right. Hi, Omotola. Actually, like my fellow mentors mentioned, it's basically the same for me, with the most being the time slots. Like, I have interns in Pakistan, and like the time difference is just too much. 7 hours. Like my morning is your evening, my afternoon is your night. My so having those calls can really be challenging sometimes. It's really challenging, and you have to be considerate. Okay, like our community, we have two interns. One is from Africa, the other is from the Middle East, and I'm here. Okay, this intern is available. I'm available with this intern. Should we go ahead and disfavor the person from the Middle East, or we have to take the time slot of the person from the Middle East and stuff like that? So sometimes we try to have that balance. You see, at 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm having calls. Meanwhile, it's afternoon for the other intern. So yeah, it's really challenging, but I think everything cannot be all blue. Outreach is an amazing opportunity. Making the program global is the best thing ever. And we have to, as mentors, try to blend in with that time difference. It's a little sacrifice, but yeah, I think that's basically the highest challenge for me.
Okay, so let's divert a bit because I know some persons now understand why they should join the Outreachy program as a mentor, but I know a lot of persons are still going to be asking two questions, and that's going to be all for this chat. So I'm going to throw out these two questions one after the other. The first question is, how do I put out tax, or how do I know the tax to give out to applicants, or maybe during the contribution stage or the internship itself? How do I do this as a new mentor? I don't know if anybody can unmute right now. Maybe Deepak, do you want to share some insights? Then after Deepak, maybe to that we go next.
Yes. So, as a mentor, you already have insights into what the project is going to be about, what is expected, what is to be achieved by the intern, and it's you have to have it well defined, because it's not something that will go on for a lot of time. You have very limited time, 12 weeks for an intern. So certainly through your project, as a mentor, I think it is very important to have that pre-plan built, even before you. I think it is required to be done before the internship actually starts. And then you work with the intern, you explain them, and make sure that they are also in agreement in terms of what is expected in week 2, in week 4, week 8, so that they are not overwhelmed with looking at 13 different tasks. You tell them that, okay, these three in first 2 weeks, and these the next three in next 2 weeks, etc. So some level of lineup is very important because the time is very short. And yeah, I mean, as a mentor, you should be able to define those steps. And it is important to have that agreement with the intern, because they should feel comfortable with your plan, and you should have a justification why that plan is doable. And that is how you do it. I mean, you really cannot uh, start the internship and then you try to define how it should be done. I think it's really important to have that plan built ahead of time so that the interns can start comfortably.
Thank you so much for sharing. Tida, do you want to answer that question?
Yes, I pretty much share the same views as Deepak, but I would like to comment on the contribution stage. So as Deepak mentioned, there has to be a level of preparation before applicants start contributing. So mentors in that instance can start creating starter tasks for applicants, small, easy tasks that the applicants can do that will help them ease into or be able to transition easier into the project. And mentors also have to, it is not easy to have your hands everywhere. The influx of applicants can be quite overwhelming in the first few weeks. So in that case, it is recommended for mentors to encourage applicants to help each other out. For example, some of them have already started installing or setting up the projects on their local machines. So those applicants that have already gone through that process can also help the other applicants that have not done. Maybe they're having issues or bugs, or they can't install something, or something is wrong somewhere. Other applicants have already gone through this process, they've gone through it successfully, or they've encountered that problem and were able to resolve it. That is where these applicants can help. They know much more about that problem than even the mentors might. So they are in the best position to help those applicants resolve those issues. And yeah, that would be my contribution.
Thank you so much for adding that. And to Juliana, Pata, and Redeem, I would love to ask you this last question that we have. In 3 ways, just look back at your career after the Outreachy internship and after the mentorship that you participated in. So, in 3 words, can you describe how participating in Outreachy as a mentor has actually helped your career? In 3 words. I'm going to start with Juliana. In 3 words.
Um, if it's not just for my career, but in general, for me, being a mentor is a lot about building stronger relationships and connections.
Hmm. Awesome. I love that. Building stronger relationship and connections. Awesome. Okay, Pata, let's hear from you in 3 words.
Okay, for me, in 3 words, okay, this program has been first fulfillment. I feel so happy whenever I'm doing this. The course and everything, I just have this inner joy, this inner peace when I'm able to do things for the community and all of that. And the second one, self empowerment, I would like to say, because it's boosted me, it's giving me this opportunity to be free, to be whoever I can be, and to understand that I can be better. Yeah, I have flaws, but I can be better. I can always work towards that. And the last for me, networking. Meeting my
Hmm.
mentor, I wouldn't really say I I would have loved to say it's the best thing ever because through him I've met a lot of people. We've had these programs. He's spoken career wise. We've had this. Okay, there's this opportunity for women. There's this opportunity for data science. Do you have other community members that could be maybe want to involve in this? I've posted things from him to my communities. We've had a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people have attended programs based on probably one or two persons that through my mentor I've met. So yeah, those are the three words for me that I would like to use.
Thank you. Fulfillment and connection. I think I grabbed those two. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. If you can as well drop it in the comments so that persons who are joining us later can also get to learn from that. Redeem, in 3 words, can you share how you've benefited from participating in Outreachy as a mentor?
Okay.
Please feel
Hello,
free
can you
to
get me now?
explain, just like Juliana and Pata. Yes, yes.
All right. Can you guys get me now? Can you get me right? Okay. Yeah, the Irish experience has been very, very good. Being a mentor for Irish has been very, very good experience. Let me start by saying that first, it has been a learning experience. Yeah. Let me make this clear. To be an Irish mentor doesn't mean that you should know everything, like 100% everything. So you work on project automatically are learning like it's an project. It's like you going through Irish second time. Yeah, if you want to experience Irish over and over again, just be a mentor for Irish. And first, I'll say it's learning experience. I've learned a lot. That's helped me improve on my own skills, technical skills wise. And also, I want to say, I also got to like had connections with other people. Like it helped me build connections with other people. Like it helped me expand my network. Yeah, so I get to know other people. And also it also helped me improve my leadership skills. Yeah, because being an Irish mentor, automatically need to be leader. So you're leading people. So it helps me to be my leadership skills. So that's actually what I can say was, in fact, it's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's a
so
very
much for
amazing.
sharing that. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. I was just about to type
Or
out what.
I have to say for that.
Okay, thank you so much, Redeem. I think in Tida's voice, Tida said the experience has been rewarding, skill building, and in terms of connection, they've gained and grown in that aspect. And as well, Deepak mentioned the freedom of community. I'm very big on that, and I can also acknowledge that as well. The freedom of community, continuous learning, and the joy of giving back. Awesome. I'm very sure with this chat, we've been able to convince you to join Asuchi as a mentor and give back in your own little way to the program and to open source community in general. So we'll be rounding up now, and I'll just go from one guest to another to ask any final thoughts or words that they want to share with folks that are looking at joining Outreachy as a mentor. Deepak, do you have any short words that you want to share with people?
Yes, I think again I'm going to speak from my experience working with the Linux community. Um it takes some time to become part of the community. Every community has their own set of protocol and how people engage, how the contributors talk to each other. So it is really important to remain involved. And even though the outreach program or the internship duration is 3 months, uh, 12 weeks. I think internship is another opportunity where you can continue to be part of the program and at the same time continue to contribute to the community as well. So it's a lot of advantage. and I certainly feel something that brings in that discipline as well. I mean, once you're out of the internship, you should not be set loose. You still need to remain engaged and disciplined within the community. So I think it's a great transition to become a mentor once you finish your internship successful. And for various reasons mentioned by different mentors, I think it's a win-win for the intern and the mentor and the community. So everybody benefits through the right participants, to the right mentorship, and to the right program. So I would encourage everybody who have been part of Outreachy to consider internship, and at different times they can, whenever they are available, they should definitely opt for some projects and become part of the mentoring and the community culture. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Redeem. Juliana, do you want to share anything before we wrap up?
Don't underestimate the skills that you have and how much you can help others. So even maybe you don't feel comfortable being a full mentor, but if you have been an intern, or if you have even just taken part in the contribution phase, and you would be willing to go with others and help them, as others have mentioned here, that is already a lot, and we'll have many others, and you will feel fulfilled with that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sharing that. Pata, do you have anything to share?
Yes, Omotola. Outreachy is open for everyone, especially those who feel underrepresented or are underrepresented in the community. Now, this is an opportunity for you to make a difference. Even if you don't get it as an intern, you can always come in as a mentor. All mentors must not necessarily be interns. Go through the project, go through the community, see which community shares your passion, see which community shares what you're interested in, and see how you can bring in your skills to help that community grow. You're not only working with the community alone, you also be working with interns, meaning you're going to be impacting lives globally. And this is a great opportunity. You can add to your resume, you get into the RET community, you get to interact with other people. You're also going to see other opportunities from other open source communities that you can also outsource yourself out there. Like they say, if you're doing something you love, you're hardly working. So instead of just sitting there and you know you're a great communicator, you can help people, you can guide people, come in as a mentor for outreach. You never know. Like I always say, life is indeed like a spoon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. See that, what do you have to tell us?
Yeah, I share the same views as Juliana and Petra. So if you're an active contributor in an open source project, then I think it would be really nice to ask the community coordinator or people you've seen who are maintainers of the project if you could participate as an outreach mentor. It would really go a long way because you've spent so much time working on this project, you know so much about this project, and you can give back to the community and help other people who want to work in this project, who are interested in this project, to contribute to this project. So I think it's really nice. And for Outreachy alums or ex-interns, just give yourself a chance. It is very easy to underestimate yourself, as Juliana said, and underestimate your skills. But you have your strengths, you have your skills, you've been through this experience. Those 3 months that you spent, it's actually four, because if you count the contribution stage, 4 months that you spent working on that project is a lot. I mean, you went through the whole process of onboarding into the project, figure out how everything works. So you know a lot too. So after your internship, do not be scared to ask your mentors how you can help. You'd realize that they're actually very excited to have you on board to work with them as co-mentors. So don't hesitate to ask them how you can contribute and give back to your community.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, for asking question, and to the guests for answering the question. I'm going to end with this by answering the question that we have from Adewumi. Adewumi is asking if an intern is not performing optimally and giving excuse instead of doing the job. How do you manage such intern? I'm very proud to tell you that the outreach organizers will not leave you alone. You are working with the interns, but the outreach organizers are there to support you in every step that you take. Or if you have like any question, any concerns, we have feedbacks where you can drop those concerns and the outreach organizers will take it up. You can also reach out. We have a safe space where you can reach out and tell the outreach organizers about your concerns. So what I'm trying to say in general is the outreach organizers are there to support you, to hold your hands even when you are holding other interns, other person's hands. So you are not alone. This journey is not for you alone. We are in this together because together we are supporting and improving diversity in tech. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Special thanks to our guests. You all are awesome. I really appreciate you, and on behalf of the Atsushi organizers, we appreciate you for joining. So we are looking forward to having you as a mentor in our various participating mentoring communities. And if you have any question, please feel free to reach out to us at organizers@outreachy.org. Our mentorship, our application for the initial application for the December course closed today, and for the mentoring community is going to close in few days. So please reach out to us at
Okay, so looks like we may have some line problem with Omotoma's connection, but I think she was nearing the closure. She just mentioned that the application timelines are still open. So anybody who's interested in applying for mentorship, I think you can go and follow the link that she gave earlier during the session. And I'm sure
Thank you
this
so much,
video would
everyone,
also
for
be.
joining us. And till next time, bye.
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 Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye.